attached to a tree in the back of my house, about maybe about 40, 50 feet from my house. But it's here where I have developed the mass majority of these skin cancers. And I'm hoping that maybe we could, in our upcoming show, Will, discuss the correlation with health and these smart meters.
I would love to, because it's definitely detrimental. And
yeah, I'm going off of my own personal observations, because you can read 200, 300, 400, 500 stories of different people, but it's easier to relate to when it's something that you yourself have noticed or experienced, and so that's why I'm bringing this up. I mean, I don't know exactly how long smart meters have been around, but I do remember the look, the way things changed, where meters were no longer where you walk up to the meter and read it. They could just zap at it from a distance and read your meters. And that was when I first started getting these cancers. And now it's at the point they don't even have to come out to my property. And I'm a good 15 miles from the electric company where they read my meter from. But yet I'm getting more and more, or was until I got onto your product, but I'm got a whole lot more being here where I am at, in spite of how well I protected myself when I've been outside in the sun, because I was always led to believe that these cancers were related to the sun, not to anything else.
Yeah, I believe that whole sun theory was all made up. I mean, but there is some validity to it, but not from the medical information standpoint. I mean, in your case, there's some. It's going to make for a nice show. Let's put it to you that way, because you have some contributing factors that a lot of people have, but they're not making the connection, and a lot of it has to do with pharmaceuticals. And then you have the frequencies that those smart meters give off are an irritant to our system. And they actually, the frequencies that they put off, I mean I'm leaning more towards the conspiracy theorist type of thinking, or what I like to call I forget. There's another way of looking at this other than conspiracy. It's about data-inspired suspicion, because the data is showing that the smart meters, just looking at smart meters, are giving off frequencies that are causing degenerated health. Because there are so many people in the same boat as you. All you have to do is start Googling that. There's chat rooms about that. There's Yahoo groups and Google groups. There's people are starting to talk and say, hey, they put a smart meter on my house, and now look at this. My dog got sick. My bird died. My this, my that.
Well, I crave the sun. I crave the sun, honey. I want to be out in the sun. I mean, it's like, give me a good book and a pair of shades, and I will sit out there all day. But I've done my best to avoid it, because I was always taught that it was the sun that caused these skin cancers. But when I go back and I remember, that's when it all comes together, that it was after I was exposed to smart meters.
Right. Well, there is some truth about the cancer in the sun, and I have a really good example. My father is that example. My dad was always, he drove a lot of the tractors on the farm as well as the trucks. So his left arm was always out the window. And I remember growing up, he always had these skin cancers because he would wear long sleeve shirts. He would roll his sleeves up 2 or 3 times just by the elbow, and so his forearm and hand would be out the window all the time, or next to the window in the wintertime or whatever. And his right arm had nothing. His left arm looked like ground hamburger all the time.
Oh, wow.
So I did some research about that, okay? The sun shines down on our bodies, and if our lymphatic system isn't able to pull the toxins and rid them through the lymphatic in the blood and get them out through natural detox pathways, the sun will actually pull the toxins right out through the skin because the sun is creating vitamin D hormone right there. Like a plant photosynthesis takes place, we're creating these hormones, which one of them is known as vitamin D. And if our systems don't work very well and we can't detox properly, the chemicals, and my dad was extremely toxic. He was extremely loaded with fungus. He would not give up his sugar. He would not follow along with anything in that regards. And he knew it. And he just made a choice that I live this way, I'm not going to change. So, the sun was causing the toxins to be drawn right up to the top and get out of the body through the skin. So in my book, skin cancer is really not a bad thing in that way. If the body is just telling you that the normal detox pathways are not functioning, so the body in its last effort to stay alive is pushing the crap through the skin to get it out of us. And another factor, you know, there's several. I mean, we could talk for an hour just on that particular issue alone because there's so many contributing factors like fungus and diet and chemicals.
Right. Well, that's why I want to definitely pick that up on another show.
Well, let's do that.
But I mean, I'm just the correlation. You know, I was thinking about this, looking at some of the comments going by here and there, and that's kind of what.
Oh, there's definitely a correlation with this smart meter stuff. I mean, I personally think it has really nothing to do with not reading the meters anymore. That's just my personal opinion, because there's other ways of making that technology or that reading other than through the frequency levels that they use on these smart meters.
Right. Oh, I hear your grandson.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a house full, and I'm in the corner in the office. It's a busy house we live in.
I know.
It's this intrusive or covert technology, I believe, needs to go away, personally.
It does. You know, that was something that my son has said to me a few times in the last couple of weeks. And coming from a 23-year-old, it's kind of amazing. He says, Mama, if we would just get rid of the technology, everything would be better. And I'm like, you know, the more I think about it, the more he's right. If we get rid of a lot of the technology and go back to the basics, things would improve greatly.
I have a tendency to believe you, because we've been through this road before, and there's enough artifacts in this country alone to back that up, that we have gone through these technological surges before. And they're not sustainable. Especially when they're being used with ill intention by people that do not have morals and ethics.
Exactly. Yep. I mean, I found that very surprising coming from a 23-year-old male. Yeah, I mean, for a child, or, well, I mean, he's a man now, but, you know, he's still a child to me.
Well, they know. I mean, he should know. He's in the military.
Yeah. you know, but even when my young ones are coming up with little things like that, it's just really totally amazing. It's just, you know, how people have so much insight, but yet they don't do anything to really change it or to improve it. Anyway, Will, you got your book coming out. You want to plug that a little bit more? We're about out of time here, and I really would like to plug your book.
I would. It's the Underlying Conspiracy. It's a lot longer than that. But that's all. I can never remember my own dang title. But basically, we're talking about some of the stuff we're talking about tonight. A lot of fungus. A lot about what to do about it. About the community thinking instead of the industrial isolated thinking. And it'll be available shortly. It's just some of the stuff that I found to be true and actually helping a lot of other people. And so we'll keep plugging that away, and hopefully the editing process will speed its way up, and it'll be on Amazon real soon, and here and everywhere else. So.
Well, we'll have it on Freedom Reigns for you too.
Alrighty.
So
and we'll put it up here on Wolf Spirit Radio as well.
Alrighty. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, Will, if you have 5 minutes left, why don't you go ahead and try and wrap up everything you said into 5 minutes? That's a challenge for you.
Yeah, right. Well, first of all, my website is bodyelectrician.com. Second of all, there is good news. You don't have to be a victim to either the chemtrails or the technologies or the, for a matter of fact, the pesticide drift that's drifting around the Midwest and other places. We have products that actually will decontaminate the petrochemicals, pesticides, heavy metals, nanotechnology, every known radioactive isotope used in nuclear industry today out of our bodies, and it's all natural. So there is good news. Yes, and Deatra can test, absolutely.
Oh, definitely. I've sent him pictures of differences, and he can see the difference between what his products and suggestions have done. And so, yeah, I speak very, very fondly of Will and very highly of the things he has taught me.
Those pictures, along with the story to go along with the pictures, will be on. I'm creating a page on my website just for advanced testimonies, if you will. So we have pictures to back that up. So, because I'm getting lots more of them, and I feel that people need to know that to help people really understand that this is real. This isn't just words on a computer screen now. I mean, there's people benefiting from these natural things, and you don't have to be a victim anymore.
Right. Right, exactly, exactly.
That's my finishing statement there, is you don't have to be a victim. So you just have to make some other choices, and I'm giving you opportunity and information so you can. So we'll see you next week, and Deatra can finish up, and Dave, and thank you, Dave, and I'm glad we're here. We'll talk to you next week.
And I'm grateful you're here, and we're going